We can start with Lorenzo.
Hi, Roger. Welcome back.
Ciao.
And yesterday, after the final in Rome, Nole said, we are reinventing the next gen, me, Rafa, and maybe Roger. That's, I guess, because you played only 2 matches this season, so you're a bit the joker of the season so far. And you feel that your biggest rival could have some doubts about your comeback. And most important, watching the yesterday game or other game in this month, you had some doubts about yourself.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Hola, Fulano. Ik zag het net.
Gedacht, so.
Hola.
Hola, yeah. Is it okay? Okay. No, I mean, look, my doubts are focused on myself. I'm just concerned about where my game is at. The guys on tour are all back in a good rhythm. The level that everybody is producing is great. Obviously, I want to achieve that as well again too. So I don't know what exactly he's referring to, and it doesn't matter anyway. I need to do my thing. I need to play 10 matches to be able to give you a better answer. Of course, there is question marks all around my level right now. We will find out a little bit more tomorrow. But in practice, things have been going well. So I'm happy there. When you come back from an injury, you are anyway in a different place than everybody else. So the players are there. I'm here at the moment. So that's why I'm excited about the comeback. That's what my focus needs to be on, and not about trying to be at the same level as Rafa Novak right now. That's not why I'm playing Geneva.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Carol?
Hi, Roger.
Hello.
I was wondering how went your preparation on clay? How did you feel coming back on this surface? And also, do you think that's going to also help you when you're going to have to switch to grass? Like, is it good to play on clay when you think about Wimbledon?
I hope so. I mean, I was happy that the knee didn't feel any different from hard to clay. So I expect the same to go from clay to grass. I mean, look, the last since '98, since we have the grass in my schedule, I've never really had any major issues going between surfaces, and I think the tennis player is used to these switches, but of course with an injury there is always a little bit more concern, especially when you haven't played as long as I have. So important is to be able to understand if you feel any issues. Well, is it because of the knee, or is it just because you haven't played in a year? It's always the big question. Or is it because you're older? I don't know. It could be any of those things. So, and when you have been hurt like me, the mind quickly goes to, well, it has to be because of the knee, but maybe it has nothing to do with the knee. That maybe now your shoulder is hurting, or your foot or something. So every player goes through days where you feel something, but so far the clay has been good for me, and I hope that it's also going to help me for the grass. And I'm convinced that hitting a lot of balls, that you have to really power through the ball like you have to on clay, because otherwise you're not going to have an impact on this surface, is going to be beneficial for me for the grass court season.
Thank you.
Paul?
Hi, Roger. You said, I think, in Doha that you hope to be 100% by the time Wimbledon comes around. I wonder, did the move in the date of the French Open affect your thinking at all? Because anyone who goes deep at Roland Garros is only going to have 2 weeks to prepare for grass, aren't they?
Yes, of course. But then again, I did it that way 10 years of my career. So I'm used to this schedule almost more than the new schedule where we have an extra week on grass. Now, it helped me to play Geneva, that's for sure. So there was positives and negatives, and I think we will only see, depending on how I play in Paris. And it was always going to be hard for me to play, and I've tried to do it a couple of times, to play back-to-back grass court tournaments and then go on and play Wimbledon. I just find it's a lot, to ask for, especially Wimbledon being the huge goal of the season for me. But yeah, the switch by Paris moving back definitely had a huge impact on how I saw the entire clay court season, because I was looking all sorts of scenarios, on the clay court season, what I could play, should I come earlier and then maybe not play later. whatever that means. But at the end, I'm happy with the schedule now. I feel really comfortable with Geneva, Paris, Halle, and Wimbledon, and I think it's a good schedule for me to come back this way.
Thanks.
Simon?
Hi, Roger. Can I just ask you, sometimes when you take time off or players take time off, it feels like the tour has moved on in that time. Do you feel that, or do you think, you'll come back into it just as it was?
And you're referring to the level, or?
Yeah.
Good question. I don't know. I also haven't watched that much, so it's hard for me to tell. But every time I watched, I was impressed. So I don't know what to tell you. It's I'm excited to find out. But like going to Doha, I was particularly worried about the level. And then the first set I played with Danny, I was able to win it in practice, and I was like, what? I'm like able to play at this level. So I surprised myself there a little bit. Now we're on clay, so I'm almost more focused on the clay than the opponent, to be honest. But I think the moment I am healthy or able to, get matches again under my belt, get used to being out on court, serving for hours, and then recovering and doing the same thing again, that will all just increase my confidence. And then I believe I will be part of the top tier. Now, obviously, if you want to be up there, you have to play a good 50 matches a season, so then that's another level. And that's why it's when you get older, it's harder to play those 50 or 80 matches or 100 matches like I used to play. So you're in a completely different space. But I mean, one thing is for sure, and that's what I would expect, is that the generation of the Tsitsipas and Zverevs and Rublevs and Medvedevs have all again gotten better, naturally, because they have more experience. Dominic won a slam in the meantime. Rafa and Novak are still where they are. So you would think that the game has improved again. And for me, that's going to be an extra challenge, extra hard for me to find that level. But one, I guess I knew from the get-go, it was never going to be simple, regardless if I was going to be out for 3 months or for now almost a year and a half.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Last one in English, Ben.
Hey, Roger. It's good to see you. Haven't had many chances to talk to you in the last year or so, so it's a question I've had for a while. But you, and just reminded about you being in Geneva, but you and a teammate had worked very closely with Sasha Zverev for a long time. I know you brought him on the Latin America tour you did, and then fairly suddenly, I guess, end of last year, teammates stopped working with Zverev. And I was curious if that decision was influenced by the abuse allegations he got from his ex-girlfriend, some of which were said to be happening in Geneva, where you are now at Laver Cup. If you could just sort of talk about what happened there and your thoughts on it. Well,
I mean, of course, I'm very close to Tony and teammate, but at the same time, these are decisions then that Tony takes and the team, And look, Sasha is a great guy. Really happy for him, when he does well. But I don't get involved in those types of decisions, to be honest. I feel like if I get asked, I get asked. But otherwise, for me, this is something that's anyway in the past now. And I think for Sasha, it's important to have his team and be comfortable with his team. And what I've always wanted to make sure is that regardless of whoever was at the company, Grigor or Delpo or now Coco, is that I feel like the agency shouldn't be in the way of your stuff, of your thing, of your life. And if maybe it's easier for you to be on your own and rebuild and do something that's more simple, I think that's it. And I think that's what I've heard, is that Sasha also wanted, is that, there was an urge for maybe a fresh start, and I think for Tony and the team as well, I'm not sure, but I'm happy when Sasha does well, and all of the allegations of it, that's super private stuff that I really don't want to comment on.
Do you think that, just on that, do you think the ATP should do anything to try to investigate that or have a policy about abuse or domestic violence? Because a lot of other major sports leagues do have that, and tennis, I've heard from a lot of tennis fans who've been frustrated that the tour has not done anything to sort of acknowledge or respond to or try to resolve any of this.
Other leagues do so. I mean,
certainly a lot of the big American leagues do.
How does it work? We're independent contractors, I guess, so it's maybe more complicated than others. I don't know. I feel like it's something very personal. I guess when you're employed at a club or at a league, it's something very different, in my opinion, because then you get a salary from there. But of course, there needs to be certain code, like like we have on the court, but that one's also got more and more strict over the years, so now you want to move over into the private life as well. I feel like for that we have other set of rules by governments and all that stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. I don't want to bring this subject up because I feel like I want Sasha to focus on his tennis, and who am I now months later to comment on it? I understand, Ben, you want to write something about it, but you understand me too, that I don't feel super comfortable talking about it.